class. In today's class we are going to start our new chapter, that is heat. I hope you all did well in your half yearly exams. It's time to get back to your studies back again. So today we are going to start very good and interesting chapter, that is chapter 4, heat. Okay, now when I say heat, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Yes, now some of you will say the heat of sun. Yes, during winter seasons when it's extremely chill or extremely cold inside the house, you go out in the sun and you feel the heat of the sun. And do you know children, just the few rays of sun is sufficient enough to provide the heat on the earth. So we can say that heat is an inseparable part of our life. Okay, now you can see many sources of heat by sun, by burner, by wood. So these are the various sources of heat. Now these are the other sources of heat, that is wood, coal, gas, which gives us the heat. If we talk about the ancient early humans, they also needed heat to cook the food, to protect them from the cold. Okay, so they also needed heat. So they generated heat probably by rubbing on stones. So heat is a form of energy basically that is required by all of us for various purposes. Now a very good example of heat would be, now you all love to drink coffee, now you all drink milk and hot chocolates and so much. You also might love enjoying ice creams, yes. But children, if I ask you one question, that how you can tell that if something is cold or if something is hot, then how would you tell that if something is cold or if something is hot? Suppose I give you an ice cream or I give you a cup of coffee. So yes, by touching, by your sense organs of touch, you can tell if something is hot or if something is cold. Similarly, if here you can see there is a cup of coffee, there is a glass of water and there is this ice cream. So just by touching it, you can tell this, yes, this coffee is hot, this water is pretty normal because it's neither too hot, neither too cold. So it is pretty much at room temperature, whereas that ice cream is cold enough. Now, if by mistake you happen to touch this cold coffee, you might burn your hand. Yes, so it's extremely difficult to sip a hot coffee. But if you are so desperate enough to sip the hot tea or coffee, so you might burn your tongue or your mouth. But children, if I keep another boiling water, okay, it's boiling water and this is the cup of tea, that is the water in that size. And now if I ask you which one of these is hotter? Now which one of these is hotter? This water or this cup of coffee? Which one is hotter? Now here you can also touch and then tell, okay, but exactly you won't be able to tell that how much hotter it is and how much hotter this cup of coffee is. So we can sometimes our sense organs fail to decide that how hot or how cold an object is. Here also, even if you touch by your hands, you won't be able to tell that accurately enough that how cold or how hot any substance is. Now in our daily life, children, you come across a number of objects. Okay, some of them are hot, some of them are cold. Example, tea is hot. Example, tea is hot. Ice is cold. Ice cream is cold. Some objects are hotter than others, and some are colder than others. We often decide which object is hotter than by touching the object. So basically, we use our touch to tell whether something is hot or cold. Okay, but we cannot always rely on our sense organs, because we cannot always realize, because sometimes we cannot touch the hot things and we cannot accurately tell that how cold and how hot any substance is. So we need to measure it. Okay, so we have to measure the hot material and the cold material, then only we can able to compare it. Okay, so now we will come to that measurement part a little later. Let's take a very interesting example here. Now I am sure that some day or the other you all might have suffered from fever. Okay, although I don't want you people to suffer from fever, but I know that you might have actually suffered from it one day or the other. So what happens in fever, if you can recall, you may know that during fever you feel so cold. Okay, you shiver with cold. So probably you wrap a blanket around yourself. Okay, so you wrap a blanket around yourself. But if you touch your head, if you will touch your head, you will notice that it is burning with heat. It's very hot. Okay, so that is how you come to know that okay, you are suffering from fever, because just by touching your head or neck you can feel the sensation of hotness. Okay, so what you do next? You probably go to the doctor, and doctor uses this device. Okay, this device which we know by the name of thermometer, and he checks your heatness and coldness. He tells you exactly how much fever you have. Okay, is it too dangerous situation or it is pretty normal? He can tell you just by looking at the temperature of your body. So focus on this term, that is temperature of your body. Okay, sometimes you get 94 temperature, sometimes even 104. So when you get the fever of 104, the doctor advises you a good bed rest. Although if you have 94 or maybe sometimes 80, the doctor tells you that you are not in a dangerous situation, so don't need to worry. So we need to check the temperature. Okay, so here we come to a very important term, that is temperature. So we can tell if something is cold and something is hot by measuring the temperature. So what is temperature? Can you read out? Temperature is a measure of the degrees of hotness and coldness of an object. Okay, the temperature of something tells us how hot or how cold is something. Suppose I have a cup of coffee here, so you can check the temperature of it. And suppose if I have another boiling water, so you can also check the temperature of both the two materials, and then you can tell that which one is hotter and which one is less hot. Clear? So we need to check the temperature the same way in which you measure your fever. Okay, so this is the device by which the doctor measures your temperature. Okay, same as when you go to the market, you ask for 1 kg potato, your mother tells you to bring 1 kg potato. So that shopkeeper also uses some device, some measuring device. Your doctor also uses some measuring device to tell the temperature, to give you 1 kg potato. Okay, so that shopkeeper also uses some device to measure the weight. Similarly, in order to tell the degree of hotness or coldness, we need to measure the temperature. Okay, so now if we talk about the temperature, so temperature is measured by thermometer. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the thermometer. Now it is measured in degrees. Okay, now it is measured by two scales. For example, if you measure potato, you will go for kg and gram, right? If you want to measure the milk, you will go for liter and milliliters, right? So similarly, when you need to measure the temperature, you will go for Celsius and Fahrenheit. Okay, Celsius, okay, this is kilogram, so the short form is kg. Okay, this is liter, the short form is L. Similarly, for Celsius, the smaller or the simple way to represent it is Celsius plus here 0. So that is Celsius scale, degree Celsius. This is degree Fahrenheit. So this is the symbol for Fahrenheit scale. Clear? So what is thermometer? Thermometer is a device that is used to measure the temperature. Now these are the scales which I already told you: Fahrenheit, Celsius and Kelvin. So Kelvin is also another scale in which we can measure the temperature. Okay, just as kg, gram, liter, milliliter, these are the scales to measure the temperature. Okay, now why temperature is important to measure? So as we can get the accurate and comparable measurement of hot thing or cold thing. Okay, so we cannot tell the degree of hotness or the coldness just by touching the things. Okay, so we need to have some foolproof or accurate way of getting the temperature. Now these are the clinical thermometers you can see here. So this is a clinical thermometer which is used to measure the body temperature, human body temperature or living being temperature. Okay, so this is the clinical thermometer. When you suffer from fever, so doctor puts some kind of thermometer inside your under your tongue. So this is the clinical thermometer. Now you know why he does the same, so as to measure the heatness in your body. So this is how he does it. He washes the thermometer with an antiseptic solution, hold it firmly and give it into a few jugs. So bring the level of mercury below 35 degrees Celsius. Then he places it under your tongue. After 1 minute, he takes out the thermometer and note the reading. And this will give you your body temperature. Now, just to give you an idea, children, our body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. If you are a healthy child or if you are a healthy adult, your normal body temperature should be 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, if it varies from 37 degrees Celsius, you are not doing good enough. So this is the normal body temperature. Now this is the room temperature. This is the normal room temperature at which you can survive. Now water boils at this temperature 100 degrees Celsius, and this is the temperature 0 degrees Celsius at which the water freezes. Let's have a look on the other thermometers. These are the digital thermometers which don't have any mercury. Okay, so they have these LCD which reflects the temperature. Okay, these are also used for measuring the temperature. These are the laboratory thermometers. Now in the chemistry labs there are many experiments in which you need to measure the temperature. So for that you cannot use the clinical thermometer. So you need these type of laboratory thermometers. Okay, these are there in our labs. Once the school reopens, we will do the temperature measurement by using these laboratory thermometers. Okay, so how actually they measure is that they have scales on the thermometers. Here if you can notice, they have these scales, and here there is one liquid which is mercury. When it is kept inside your mouth under your tongue, so the temperature rises, and that's how the doctor is able to tell you the correct temperature inside your body. Okay, so I hope children you understood the importance of measuring temperature. Okay, this is the depiction on how we can measure the temperature of various chemicals or various reactions in chemical laboratories. So we take the we take tap water in a beaker, dip the thermometer in the water so that we can measure the temperature. It has scales. So this is the thermometer. It will have these scales. So here we have the mercury. Once it is heated up, so it will rise up and it will give you the exact scale or the exact temperature. Clear? So children, I hope you understood what is heat. Okay, and heat is a form of energy. Basically it's a energy. Okay, because it cooks the food, it gives you warmth. So basically it's a energy. Okay, now in day-to-day life there are many hot things and many cold things. By measuring their temperature we can tell their degrees. Also children, if I give you one example, so you must have heard this in news that okay, today is the coldest day. I'm sure you must have heard these type of news that today is the coldest day of the winter, or maybe yesterday was the coldest day. So how they can tell actually that which day is coldest, which day is not coldest? They measure the temperature. Okay, so they also measure the temperature of the environment, and on the basis of temperature they can tell if the day is cool, if the day is coldest, or by measuring the temperature they can actually compare the degrees of hotness and coldness. Okay children, so we use thermometers to measure the temperature. In the next class we are going to talk about the effects of heat. I hope today's class was very fun. Take care children.